Welcome to the link this evening. We are discussing if you have a business and you want to sell, or you have money you want to buy a business, especially probably small and medium, where do you go and what do you do? That's our discussion tonight. Welcome again, and my guest tonight is Cuthbert Isingoma in the business brokerage space, if you like. Cuthbert, this sounds like a new area. Many people have, I gave an example of a salon, or what can I say, a supermarket, a small grocery, or a shop, and I want to sell it. That's our discussion tonight. However, let's start with, as a business broker, what do you really do?
Thank you, Samuel. Good evening, our viewers. As a business broker, our job is basically to be able to help entrepreneurs buy or sell their businesses. You see, many of our people know how to start businesses.
Okay.
You start a business, but you'll reach a time that you want to retire, or you want to relocate to another location.
Go abroad.
What do you do? Go abroad or anything. What do you do to the business? We always advise that instead of liquidating or dissolving that business, sell it off to another person. If there could be another person who is interested in that type of business. So instead of just dissolving the business, because when you dissolve that business, you lose a lot of things. One, you lose the clients you had built up.
Yeah.
You lose the employees you had brought on board. You lose quite a number of things. So we are saying that instead of losing all of that, why don't you sell it off to another person? Because when you sell it to another person, he takes on all the assets and the liabilities you had and continues the business. Okay. So there is no distortion.
In the location, moreover.
In the same location. So there is no distortion. Whenever a business is dissolved or liquidated, quite a number of things are lost. Like I've told you, jobs are lost. Government itself loses the taxpayer, because it loses the taxpayer who is the business owner, but even the taxpayer who are the employees. You see? Yeah. So there are organizations like NSSF loses contributors. So we are trying to say that if you sell this business, everything keeps around. There will be, NSSF will continue getting contributions from both the employees and the employer. Yeah. And then there is also the other people you've been doing business with. Your advertisers, your transporters, all those are distorted. So we are saying, don't dissolve a business, don't liquidate your business, sell it off to another person. That helps.
And I want to give an example, but so people can follow us.
Yes.
If I have a salon, I need to liquidation means I have to sell the dryers, the furniture, breaking down that piece by piece.
Yes, now, when you liquidate, you're only selling off the tangible items. Remember, there is the big thing, which is the goodwill. Because you had built the thing over time.
And your name.
And your name and reputation, the branding, all that is not sold. So you only sell that. Now, when you sell only the tangible items, it has been proved that you are selling only about 15 to 30% of the business value. Yeah. So, but if you let the business be sold to another person, as it is, you get the maximum output of that business. Okay. Yes.
Now, somebody sitting there and says, I want to sell my small supermarket.
Yes.
I want to go to Dubai, for instance. So I want to go to UK.
Yes.
So I come to you. What happens?
When you come to us, we do quite a number of things. One, we do a due diligence to see really what you're telling us.
Like doing homework.
Yes, we check everything you've told us. Because you first come and tell us, I have a salon, it's valued at so much. So we come and say, okay, you're telling us it is so much. How much has it been making? Do you have books? So we go into those details and then we come up with the right correct value of your business. In many times, people will tell you, my business is valued at so much. So you find that he may be overvaluing it or undervaluing it. But now when we can make a due diligence, we get other professionals to help us, especially accountants, the CPAs. They help us to come up with the correct value of the business. He comes and says, no, the value of this business based on how it sells and its revenues and so on, it's valued at so much. Okay. So those are the things we do. Then another thing we always ask the seller is why he's selling. It's very important to know why someone is selling his business. Because
yeah, I want to really know that point.
yes, when you don't know why he's selling, the one who wants to buy will want to know why is this guy selling? Is he down? Does he have debts with URA and so on? So those are the reasons we as brokers must know why are you selling, so that we pass on this information to the next person that is selling because of ABC. Please, the business is good.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we are talking about the buyer, rather the seller.
Yes.
How about on the side of the buyer? How do you find the buyers?
We find the buyers because we as brokers have a lot of connections.
Yes.
We know many people who are in business, who are everywhere. So we get them through that one. Then we have other platforms. We have other networks where we network through to get buyers. But there are also very many people out there who want businesses to buy, but they don't know where to go. So you find someone says, okay, since I have this money, let me just build maybe a block of apartments. Now, when you build a block of apartments, he ties his money, because the return on investment in real estate is much lower than in business. So you find he has instead gone for a wrong investment type. Because you see, all these businesses we do, we try to do them so that there is higher return at the end of the day. Okay. Yes.
Very good. So apart from finding me a buyer, what else do you do to facilitate this process? People want to see that, okay, I'm going to these guys who are connecting me. What else do you do to help me in this process?
Yeah, the other thing we help you in the process is in negotiating. Okay. You know, in many times, when we introduce the buyer to the seller, we always want there to be a smooth transition between in the process. Many times, if you don't involve a broker in that process, there could be many things going wrong. Because a broker has experience, he has done these things over a long period of time. He will tell you that, please, if you're going to sell to this business, don't say pay 100% of the money you're selling. We always ask them to pay at least 75 as the first installment, so that the other balance is paid after a period of time. Why this period of time? This period of time is for transition. You, the seller, you must keep in business. Okay. For a period of time, because we want to be a smooth transition, so that he introduces you to the workers, the banks, there could be other investors. So this seller must introduce you to all these people, so that there is smooth transition. So that's why we always ask for that period of time. So we always want to involve ourselves until you've signed and all agreed. Even at the last, for the final payment, the broker must be around, so that there's everything the broker must know, because he's done both the two.
Okay, very good. Is everything smooth? I mean, you are bringing buyers and sellers. What are some of the difficulties you meet, and what's the minimum things you can put up? If people don't budge, you don't get involved. People want to understand, how do I behave myself when I bring you in? What do you expect from me?
In order for there not to be any problems, what we always encourage is for the seller and the buyer to be very truthful to each other. Truthful, yes. You must disclose, like if the business, like you say, the salon, how much have you been making? You must tell the buyer how much you've been making, how much you pay the rent, how much you pay for the employees, and everything. Be truthful to each other. Then, secondly, even the buyer must be truthful to the seller, that yes, I really have this money, I'll pay you, and at the agreed time we shall. So both of the parties should be truthful to each other. Then another thing we always encourage is to sign non-disclosure agreements. Okay. These are agreements that bind parties, especially the buyers, not to disclose what he has found or what he has had this business doing during the transaction period. Like to competitors? Yes, to competitors, because we always encourage that, please sign non-disclosure agreements so that you don't disclose. Now, these are the things that protects the transaction. If those are not in place, many times those are the problems we get. Now, another thing we always encourage them, that even in these non-disclosure agreements, we encourage things like, in case of litigation, go for arbitration, other than saying you go to court straight, because in court you have to disclose quite a number of things. So when you disclose, you'll disclose a number of things, and the business may go bad. I've seen some companies which did not use arbitration, and they went and the transaction went bad. And when they started the fighting, they went to court, and the whole transaction was nasty. So we encourage that, please, in these non-disclosure agreements and even the sales agreement, we always encourage first go for the arbitration. Don't go for court directly.
You mentioned something, Cuthbert, about a company that you look at in the books.
Yes.
Will you touch a company which doesn't keep books? Or will you walk away? How do you deal with that?
Okay, many of our SMEs don't have books. But
big problem.
Yeah, that's a very big problem. But what we encourage them, there are some which have minimum books. Like if it's a shop, he has these sales records. Every sales he does, those if you brought a good accountant, he's able to make financials out of it, so that you can make the assessments. So books, yes, we always want a business which has at least minimum books. Yes.
Okay. How do I make sure my business gets the best offers or the best buyers, basically my best value for money? And how do I price correctly? Because wrong pricing can disorganize me.
Yes, like I told you, if you use good professionals, like if you're selling a business, it attracts quite a number of professionals. You will have, say, if the business includes buildings, you must get a property valuer to help you. Don't only get the financial value. The financial value is just looking at the financials. You get other experts. If your facility is, say, a medical center, you need medical experts. So involve these experts. Involve the lawyers, auditors. All these guys help you to come up with a good value. But when you decide to say that I'll use only one person, he will get you a wrong value, and at the end of the day, you either undersell or try to overprice the business, and at the end of the day, someone may not buy the business because it's overpriced.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are creating a marketplace. Yeah.
Yes.
How does this marketplace effectively work? Because I need to find you basically physically. Can I find you any other way? This marketplace, how do I just access it? If I don't see you, for instance, Cuthbert.
Okay, we have
my question.
Yes, I understand. We have some platforms, but the first one is our physical address. We're based in Ntinda, where our offices are. You can come to Ntinda. You can come to our website. You can,
which website?
The website is called TUFIC. TUFIC is TUFIC.
FIC.
.biz. Yes, you can go to our website and communicate to us. Then we can come to you. You can come to our Facebook page. So all these are platforms that we get people who want to buy or sell their businesses. Yes.
Very good. Lastly, what other you talked about professionals like lawyers and auditors coming into this process. Doesn't my value get corroded as I'm paying all these fees for these guys to do the evaluation, for instance? How do you assure me? I'm worried that by the time I sell, I will have corroded my value because I'm paying these guys.
Okay, you see, we always fear professionals, but in many times they give us better results. Okay. When you fear professional, like if you decide, say that you're not keeping books, you're saying I'll do everything myself, you end up making many losses than if you had an accountant to do all that work for you. So if you get these professionals and they do the good valuation, their fees will be embedded into the selling price. So you may find that they have raised your stake because there will be a financial report which you will be able to take anywhere to show people that, my friend, my business was valued. Then second, there are situation analysis reports of the business. That can be used by the buyer who comes on board. So all these things will be paid for somehow. So don't fear to use professionals, because these are the people who will give us the best price in this business.
Very good. And we're going formal anyway. And that's the way to go.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Cuthbert. You see, 15 minutes, I told you, are so few to thresh these issues. But thank you for creating a marketplace for these kinds of transactions, because I've not heard of it in Uganda before.
Yeah, we are the only ones currently, I think, in the whole region of East Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So if you have a business to sell, or you have some money to buy a business, you have had, and you know where to go. That was the link tonight.